to have a look at. They are all related to future infrastructure. So on that, in consultation with the Mayor, we've been getting a lot of requests for public input for future infrastructure matters. What we are going to do is, in regards to future infrastructure matters, we are going to have a full day that is aligned with our 30-year transport plan, where people will be able to come in and spend a day talking to us and presenting their thoughts on Auckland's transport needs for the future. And that's really to try and manage, I guess, the piecemeal approach that we've been having, where every meeting we get 2 or 3 people coming in and presenting to us. We want to try and bring everything together so that all of the thinking that people want to bring to us is captured in that one day. So this will be the last day, because it's not our decision making ultimately, this will be the last day we have public input at this meeting, but there will be a very, very good opportunity for members of the public to be able to come in and present to us as a whole in regards to our future transport needs. So the first person up this morning is Ian McNeil. So come on up, Ian. And we deferred this from the July meeting, and this is in regards to a bridge proposal for Auckland Harbour, and we've got his presentation. So welcome, Ian, good to have you here, and you've got 5 minutes.
Yep. Good morning, Infrastructure Committee. I just want to notify you that I missed out one vital point in my submission, and that was the height of this bridge that I proposed. It must be 50 metres above the high water mark. Now that's very important and should go in the contract when we build this bridge. 50 metres above the high water mark. And I have a lot of people from Silverdale and all around there are annoying me no end. When are we going to get this bridge? And we want a railway all the way to Silverdale, please. Thank you.
Well done. Questions for Ian? Kent?
Why 50 metres?
Huh? No?
He said why 50 metres?
Why 50 metres? It's only in the shipping channel because of to allow passenger ships to go underneath. The present bridge is 42 metres and it's too low.
Any other questions for Ian? No, look, you've done a fantastic job with your presentation. Thank you, Ian, and thank you for keeping to the time limit. As I say, we'll be considering all these things as part of our 30-year plan. Desi, I'd like to move the vote of thanks. Seconded by Richard. Those in favour say aye. Aye. And against, carried. Next up is Stephen Smythe. So, Stephen, welcome. All yours.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I don't really want to say anything more than I put in the documents that have been circulated, so I'll spend 5 minutes answering your questions. Barry can start the questioning.
Okay, thank you. Are there any questions for Stephen on this? It's a pretty comprehensive report that he's given us. Are there any questions on it? I've scared everyone off. Mike.
Hi, Stephen. Long time no see.
Yes.
Am I right in my understanding that you are, in a sense, setting up a completely different rail network for Auckland?
Not rail network, tram trains. Tram trains were considered, a tram train was delivered to the city and then removed. I think the only way in the long term that you're going to get better public transport, you've done well in water, you've done well on rail, but the land itself needs smarter, quicker, dependable public transport. Three-car tram trains are the answer. They run on pneumatic tyres. They can run on steel wheels, on steel rails. My gut feeling is you'd start off with pneumatic tyres, and after that, it's where you can find the space on main roads and to key motorways. But it's all in the document that I've sent to you guys.
The gauge would be common to a tram train would be looking at a standard New Zealand Railway gauge, or we're looking at a standard International Light Rail gauge.
The thing about tram trains is that they are coming out quite rapidly in diverse formats. Typically these days they are EV, quick charge, so they charge at a station or platform as they move around. They can have pneumatic tyres, they can have steel wheels, they come in various widths, so it's really a matter of shopping for the right brand. Look, I've got a few quick other points that I just wanted to put on paper here. I began to realise towards the end of my research on this that the Northern Busway can have an extension, and that extension would run on the eastern clip-on, and it would run all the way down to the Britomart station. Now, the one thing that it's a bit hard to figure out is the weight, the tram train that you choose, its weight on that clip-on, and so that I would ask that there was research done on that, and I'd be happy to be a party to that. But the only new public transport that we can have in the city are tram trains, but you've got multiple choices. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Ken?
So, because it's got multiple, wheels and types of mobility, the only thing that you would be looking for in the line would be gradient. Is that correct? It has to have a comfortable gradient for the tram.
Yep, look, I looked at gradient, and it's in the document I gave you. The steepest gradient that I could find in the circle that I nominated, and I called it the circle line, is in the North Harbour crossing. There's one point, and I checked that, and the gradient's fine.
Mike, sorry, thank you, and I haven't read the whole document, I'm sorry.
Yep.
The question is that I thought with tramline it was constricted to where you could put track. Now you've made me think that it could go almost anywhere because of that.
Can.
Yeah. So what would be the constraints? Because otherwise it's just a bus or a taxi service.
Well, the most important thing is it's got to be separated with some sort of safety system. And the document that I prepared clearly demonstrates that you need two directions, which is about 6 metres, and you have barrier protection, and I've got diagrams there showing how that works. And they can run, I would put it preliminary on what I denoted, which is the circle line, Top Harbour Motorway, Northwestern Motorway, and the Northern Busway. That's your circle. And from there you can put branches off. But you don't even have to hang your hat on one brand. Bring in a brand, try it, or bring in 2 brands or 3 brands. There's plenty of choices.
Thank you. I will read your document as soon as I get a chance. Thank you.
Okay. My background is architecture, and I'm pretty good at spatial planning, but the techie stuff I've had to get from the usual places.
Excellent. Chris?
Look, just one quick comment. Going over the Harbour Bridge and extending the Northern Busway, I think you should look very closely at the strength of those clip-ons. Not the bridge itself, but the clip-ons have their own foundations. I reckon you can run a 2-way tram train system with the right weight of tram, so it complies with loadings on the bridge, and I know that NCTA are very concerned about that. If you get satisfaction on the loading, you could run a 2-way tram train system on the eastern clip-on all the way up the busway to the bus station. I've measured it on geomaps, and there's plenty of space on the northern motorway. You can keep the barrier on the seaward side all the way up and take 6 metres, and in certain places you may have to remove 1 lane. But by the time you hit the bridge, you've got 6 lanes of cars and 2 lanes permanently designated for the tram trains, in, out. So it goes over the bridge, heads round, goes across to Britomart. Simple.
Thank you. Chris?
Oh, thank you for your interesting presentation. Are you aware that Auckland's sister city, Brisbane, has successfully implemented that mode in recent times?
Yep.
And it would appear to have been enormously successful.
You're talking about tram trains.
Yeah, the only difference seems to me that we would have to be concerned with here is the quality of our roads and the weight on our roads, but I was really just wanting to get some feedback on what you've been able to obtain in terms of the Brisbane experiment.
Look, the thing about tram trains is that they are very diverse, both in their actual physical weight or their loaded weight. You've got to take into account the loaded weight. I would urge you to go back to the tram train thing. I don't know whether the city invited the Chinese to bring that tram train and stick it on the Northern Busway, but they chose to remove it. Shop around, look at brands, try 2 or 3 brands, and you'll soon find out.
Thank you very much.
There's no other way you can do it. You've nailed it on the water, you've nailed it on the railway lines. Now you've got to do it on the roads.
Thank you. No further questions. So someone like to move that Stephen be thanked. Thank you, Chris. Seconded by Desley. Those in favour say aye. And against, carried. Thank you, Stephen, and thank you for incredibly informative report, I suppose. Next up, Dean. Dean Green. Welcome, mate.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I've got to make sure this works for me. Oh, Lotto. Okay, cool. I'd like to begin with a simple observation. Auckland's biggest transport challenge isn't congestion, it's time. Planning scenarios increasingly point toward an Auckland approaching 3 million people and Upper North Island exceeding 5 million, and freight demand increasing dramatically as ports, manufacturing, distribution and e-commerce continue to expand. The Watermanor transport spine is fundamentally a systems proposal. The proposal connects Northland, Auckland, Waikato and Bay of Plenty into a continuous movement corridor. State Highway 1 and State Highway 16 stop competing with each other and become complementary routes. The airport connects naturally into the Northwestern Busway, and the Northern Busway becomes part of one rapid transport system through the City Rail link. Looking ahead, I believe this kind of dedicated bus corridors provide an ideal platform for future evolution to trackless trams as passenger demand grows. Regional rail, including Te Huia, the Northern, the Wellington and future Tauranga connects seamlessly with metropolitan services in the Grand Central Station. In terms of the Grafton and Cully transformation, the Watermanor spine brings State Highway 1 and State Highway 16 together for continuing as a single strategic corridor to the North Shore. Instead of forcing in regional traffic through city streets, our proposal creates 2 distinct layers: below ground, strategic motorway traffic; above ground, the lights of Wesley Street, the port and universities. This protects local streets, prioritised strategic movement and reduces conflict between regional traffic and everyday life. The Watermanor Harbour Crossing. Harbour Crossing is where engineering and strategic planning comes together. Rather than proposing a completely submerged tunnel from shore to shore, this concept uses a 1.6 kilometre low-profile causeway across shallow tidal area. The inspiration comes from Watermanor Harbour Crossing study, Tunnel 3 Option 3, and the All Sun Causeway tunnel link between Denmark and Sweden. In terms of also on that project, demonstrated that combining a causeway with a tunnel can create an efficient, integrated crossing while respecting navigation requirements. The lesson isn't about copying another country, it's about applying a proven engineering principle, using the simplest solution and costs where conditions allow. Waitemata Station. For every transport network is one place where everything comes together. For London, it's King Cross. For Sydney, it's Central. For Brisbane, it's the new Roma Street. For Auckland, that opportunity is Waitemata Central. We already have the beginnings of that interchange through the CRL. But this proposal asks us to think about the station we have today. Imagine a second integrated transport level below the existing station, creating a true multimodal interchange at the city centre of Auckland. A passenger arriving from Tahuia and Hamilton could move directly into the Auckland's rapid transport network. Someone travelling from the airport through the northwestern corridor could connect into the CRL while having to navigate multiple disconnected systems. Suddenly, these aren't separate projects, they become one connected network. That's what integrated transport should feel like for Auckland. Unlocking the economic benefits. Lowering the sections of the Eastern Line and Strand Corridor creates the opportunity to reconnect to Te Tongaroa and Key Park with the CBD, waterfront and surrounding city. The opportunity, unlock the Albert Park Tunnel and create a more directional connection for Victoria Street East. Provide a short direct walk from Te Waihoratu Station to strengthen the connection to the CBD and CRL. Create the potential for a new Eastern Line directly integrated with Te Tongaroa. Improve access to the waterfront and Key Park. Create direct pedestrian connections to the new ASB Tennis Entertainment Centre, and unlock the civic space, commercial development events, potentially a stadium precinct. In terms of the Waitemata Harbour Crossing, the Waitemata Harbour Bridge there, as we can see here, is basically, as people have said, will be the club lines will be changed into a walking through on the eastern side and a lightweight hybrid electric mobility on the other side. We keep the future legacy of the harbour bridge. We don't have a second harbour bridge across next to it. We have one capability that parallels with the opportunity that comes through from the Waitemata Harbour crossing. And I think at this stage I'll leave it there, Chairman, so I've put plenty of information there for you. Happy for conversations.
Thank you, Dean, and you're very comprehensive. So questions for Dean? Mike.
Oh, thank you. Thanks very much. Broadly speaking, your concept is in line with the findings, I believe, of the joint study that was completed, I think, in 2007. Is that correct?
Right.
Thank you. And yet we seem to be reworking the thing all over again.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Any further questions for Dean? None? Okay. Bo, do you want to move? Thanks. Okay, I'll second it. Those in favour say aye. Aye. And against? Carried. Thanks, Dean, and great to see you, mate, and thanks for all the work.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, team.
Okay, we have no local board input